Hello, I'm Crispin and welcome to Poker Room Review, your guide to live poker rooms all across the world. In each episode, we review a live poker venue, discussing the important things you need to know when planning your next poker destination. For each venue, we review a range of characteristics, including location and access, game options, service and experience, and rake and rewards. We also discuss any rules, quirks, and issues relating to each location. Today we are in a whole new country, Cambodia, visiting the major casino resort Naga World in the capital, Phnom Penh. Cambodia is located in Southeast Asia between Vietnam and Thailand. Those living there today are the descendants of the great Khmer Empire who built the famous Angkor Wat temple complex, which draws visitors from around the world. While burdened with a troubled past, Cambodia is a country that has been booming in recent years, benefiting from significant investment from China. With its rich history, quality food and warm climate, Cambodia is also experiencing a tourist renaissance. In the heart of Phnom Penh sits Naga World, a major casino resort complex with a dedicated poker room. Now with this video, be sure to watch to the very end. First, there's a great offer to take note of in the rake and reward section, but also something to be more concerned about in the rules and quirks. In any case, we've traveled to Naga World, so let's discuss it. Category 1, location and access. Direct flights to Phnom Penh are prevalent throughout Asia, though coming from further afield probably requires a connecting flight from a regional hub like Seoul, Kuala Lumpur, or Singapore. Naga World itself is located in the city centre in a relatively good area next to embassies and shopping centres. Unless you're a citizen of a neighbouring country though, you're going to need a visa on arrival after landing. It costs $35 and only takes a few minutes. A taxi from the airport costs $15 and can take between 25 and 45 minutes depending on the time of day and traffic conditions. One advantage of Phnom Penh is that while it has a staggering population growth rate, compared to other cities in the region like Bangkok or Manila, the numbers of people are quite modest and the traffic therefore quite reasonable. Naga World itself is divided into two main complexes, Naga World 1 and Naga World 2. This is important. Naga World 1 and 2 are connected via a walkway in the lower ground level. The walkway is lined with upmarket shops and enables easy access between the two areas. Naga World's Arena Poker Room is located on the first floor of Naga World 1, which you can easily access via the escalators immediately to the right upon entering if coming via that walkway. You'll need a membership card to play, so bring your passport for the first time to sign up. The room itself is adequate once you locate it. It's easy to find again thereafter. Naga World itself is a beautiful complex, centrally positioned with a huge amount to offer, although Cambodia is still very much a developing country, so when you're out exploring the city, personal safety will be something to remain mindful of. For location and access, 3 stars. Category 2, game options. Game options for Naga World is pretty solid. $1, $3 Hold'em will be running pretty much 24/7, while $2, $5 will get up every day also. 1-3 Omaha will also get up some of the time. Occasionally there will be a 5-10 Hold'em game or even higher, and sometimes it will go the other way down to 1-1. So there's a lot of versatility there. Naga World also runs tournaments on weekends with a $50 Deep Stack Turbo on Saturday and a $200 Mega Stack on Sunday. Additionally, the World Poker Tour visits Naga World on the circuit with a major series running in January, with the next one boasting a $3,300 main event buy-in. Overall, with its 24/7 operating time, multiple stake levels and regular tournaments, this is excellent and there will be something for everyone. The only drawback here is the limited number of tables. While the WPT will run in Naga World's Grand Ballroom, this is not where the main poker room is located, and during regular times there are limited tables of about 9. While still decent, that does limit the scope of games generally made available, so for game options, 4 stars. 3. Service and experience. This is a mixed bag at Naga World with some things that are really positive and others that are notable drawbacks. First, the positive. Dealers are super fast and efficient, good at controlling action, and every table has a shuffling machine to speed up play. Chip runners will take cash from the table, and you don't need to post as a new player so long as you wait for the button to pass you. Table service is absolutely free and includes complimentary beer. USB chargers are free and abundant at every table, and massages are available while you play, although these are quite pricey given the region you're in. One huge benefit that is massively underrated is NagaWorld's use of US dollars. All poker is in USD, and the currency is widely accepted in stores alongside the native Cambodian rial. And honestly, this is absolutely great. If you're from the United States, you can literally just bring your own cash to Cambodia and be fine. For the rest of us, it's great having to just change once to and from the world's reserve currency without having to pay multiple change fees. On the flip side, while smoking is not permissible at the table, NagaWorld's Arena Poker Room sits in an open corridor between a smoking area and a sports bar, which is also smoking heavily. During the day, when the sports bar is closed, the smoke isn't bad, but it gets really out of control in the evenings. Moreover, individuals often flaunt the non-smoking rule, particularly if they're just walking through the poker area. Now, those who watch regularly know that I punish this harshly. However, I'm more generous in developing countries like Cambodia, who are still finding their feet in this area. Nonetheless, it would be of enormous benefit for NagaWorld to put some glass doors in the poker room area to close it off from the smoking completely, given how many hours people spend at the table. Beyond that, the room itself is punishingly dark, and the tables and cards feel pretty worn down. They definitely need to replace their $5 chips, for instance. Still, there's a cashier's desk specific to the poker room, attendant service and staff who generally seem to know how to run a game. If management at NagaWorld simply make the poker room genuinely smoke-free, then it would be a globally competitive experience. As is, for service and experience, 3 stars. 4. Rake and rewards. Now this is where NagaWorld really comes into its own. Except for the $1, which is 10%, the rake is 5% at all stake levels, which is perfectly reasonable, albeit capped at a somewhat hefty 15%. However, there are 3 times a day, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., where if you've been playing for 2 hours or more, you'll automatically go into a draw to win either $150 or $100 US. Not bad given that at this time of the day there might only be 4 or 5 tables running, so the pool isn't that big. The big win here are the poker promotions that NagaWorld regularly has on offer. For instance, at the time of recording, NagaWorld was offering free accommodation at their 5-star resort if you play 6 hours a day in the Arena Poker Room. I took advantage of this offer and it was amazing. The room was gorgeous, the facilities excellent with a great pool and gym, and the breakfast buffet is simply the best I've ever had, period. There are conditions you must keep in mind, however. First, you must fill in a special form and receive a letter from staff with a registration number at least a couple of days before you arrive, otherwise the offer is not valid. You cannot be a resident of the city of Phnom Penh, and it's not valid during major poker festivals such as the WPT. But beyond that, you can take advantage of this for a full 20 nights in any 60-day period. Whenever you are playing poker, just make sure that you're scanned in so your hours are being recorded with your membership card. And then on the day of checkout, the floor manager will give you a voucher that says how many nights you've qualified for based on your hours of play. A couple of important things to note though. First, you have to pay for the accommodation up front and you'll only get the money back when you check out. So factor that into your expenses and your budgeting. Second, make sure you keep a hold of all the receipts you get at check-in, in addition to the approval letter and the voucher from the poker room. These receipts are important for claiming your refund when checking out to prove that you paid initially. But yeah, if you fill in the forms and keep all your bits of paper, and you'll get free on-site accommodation, and honestly, I've never seen a deal as good as this. So for rake and rewards, 5 stars. Rules and quirks. Okay, so hold on to your seat here, there's quite a few things to discuss. First, you have plenty of options. Players can chop the blinds, you can straddle both under the gun and on the button in a Mississippi straddle. Uniquely, you can pay to rabbit. So when a player folds, they can give $1 to the dealer and they will deal a run out. If you're recording hours of play, make sure you're scanned in at the table at all times, especially if you've moved seats, because they've got to move you on the machine. Also note that when you leave the table just to go to the bathroom or a smoko, the dealer will pause your attendance and that won't count towards your hours. One other quirk to note is the city itself. Behind NagaWorld, there's a medium-sized shopping complex called Aeon, which, it has to be said, is way overpriced given it's Cambodia. It's more expensive than most Western countries. In fact, when I was there, the whole complex was basically vacant and seemed to be tailored entirely to foreigners. So unlike the Philippines, which is a shopper's paradise, note that Cambodian discounts are really only to be found in local markets. The major shopping centers can, in my opinion, be entirely skipped. Finally, there is one significant issue facing Cambodia and NagaWorld in particular that we would be remiss to not at least mention. NagaWorld employees and Cambodians generally earn very low incomes of around $200 to $300 per month, while putting in extremely long hours and under difficult conditions. Now, the union leader for NagaWorld's employees is a woman called Miss Chim Sintha. She was taking industrial action to improve the working conditions of NagaWorld employees as a consequence of her union activities, and following a visit to my home country, Australia, Miss Sintha and 8 of her fellow union representatives were thrown in prison by the Cambodian authorities and sentenced to 2 years jail, where they currently languish. Now, we'll delve into this subject more deeply in another video, but it's worth noting simply that Miss Sintha's imprisonment has been strongly objected to by several governments. She has personally been awarded the Human Rights Defender Award by the United States. Our intention here is merely to inform you properly so as to fulfill the mission of this channel. However, it is also an issue that I think the WPT will need to contend with, since it's important not only to protect their brand, but also the reputation of poker generally. We'll keep you informed about this on the upcoming video in due course. However, that issue aside, NagaWorld really is a great poker destination, so overall, 3.5 stars. We review new poker rooms regularly, so if you found value in this content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, because that's the only way YouTube will know this is the case. Also, please, if you have any Facebook groups or poker forums, consider sharing this video, because getting more views is the only way we can make more content. In the meantime, have you been to NagaWorld in Cambodia? If so, what did you think? Is there anything I've missed or recommendations you'd like to include? I'm sure everyone would appreciate it down below. If you want to check out more videos, you can do so right now. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.